Sometimes it felt like people thought, okay, she's Wonder Woman, she's the greatest warrior, so they turned her into this masculine character, which she's not. The beautiful thing about Wonder Woman is that she's so diverse. She's everything. She can be vulnerable and sensitive and the greatest warrior ever, and strong and confident. Like, she can be all of the above. She can be everything that a woman has, and they live together in a beautiful way.
Ben, Jim, Ben. Good, good, that's good.
She's the everyman hero woman who doesn't have to give up anything to be that woman. She wasn't compromised for her strength. And that was something very, very, very new when it was first written, and continued to be new and continues to be new now.
Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman really do represent different aspects of heroism. With Wonder Woman, it's about equality, and it's about having compassion for fellow people. And as a result of that, understanding that you need to treat everybody equally.
Her inherent power was always obvious, even to the most casual comic book kid. They understood that she needed to be there, right? You had to represent her. They just understood inherently the power of this figure to sort of be transcendent of the boy stuff they were given. Like, here's Superman and Batman, they duke it out. And then they're given this other symbol that is clearly in all of us, that essential concept of this warrior who looks at war differently.
That's another difference between her and Batman and Superman. They all have very different relationships with violence. Batman is traumatized by violence to such an extent that he wants to control it. Superman's power set is such that his relationship with violence is, you've got to hit him so hard for it to matter. When the way you get at Superman is emotionally. Because you're not going to beat him just by pounding him down unless you happen to have kryptonite like you. Diana comes out of a warrior culture that knows what that means in every sense. Diana's never going to enter into a combat without knowing exactly what it is she is about to do. Her skill, her discipline, she never goes to the sword first.
She has this thing inside of her that just pushes her and make her want to do good and want to be proactive and want to help and want to do better. Fighting would be her last option.
Often Batman and Superman, they're like brothers, you know. They're really different, but obviously they're sort of on the same side, and they tried to reconcile that, and she's the sister in the middle going, guys, we've got to think of a solution to this, not just wade in.
She's kind of a voice of reason in their very focused worldviews. She just might take more into consideration as far as a superhero goes. She might bring the best of both of those characters, plus an energy that they don't have.
Also, she works on them to bring out their better nature. She works with Superman to kind of ground him and take him down a notch from his starry-eyed idealism, because she's been around for a long time. She really knows the history of the world and how people can behave. And Batman, she continuously brings a little bit more into the light, to try to break him out of his own shell, to be more of a team player, to also discover elements of humanity that he has willfully discarded.
They just complement each other very, very well. That's why they're the Trinity, because they work so well together. It wasn't like DC Comics ever said, we're going to create 3 characters that are going to be the cornerstone of the DC universe. It wasn't manufactured. The cornerstone was built off who the characters were and why people loved them. The fact that they kind of link up so well together and complement each other and contrast against one another is pretty fascinating.
There's parallels between Diana and Clark in the sense that they both come from worlds outside of our world. And I know a lot of people like to see the connection between Wonder Woman and Superman as an item. I think it's more interesting looking at Diana and Batman, personally, because they're not so obvious.
They play into really kind of visceral primal myths, and they play off of each other so beautifully, the dark and the light. Just perfect opposites. And I know that in Justice League over the years, they have played them both as sparring partners and with a sense that there might be something else if you want to read into it.
Bruce is a man of the human world, and Wonder Woman is not. There's some interesting things to explore there.
Her introduction into the Trinity with Batman versus Superman, and the clear sense of confidence and equality and passion, strength, all that she brought and that Batman and Superman recognized in her, speaks to a strength that comes only when you understand what women are capable of.
Only love can truly save the world. Everything Wonder Woman stands for is brilliant.